Now on display, the work of a Brazilian artist who is finally getting the notice she deserves. Faith Salie makes the introduction.
In her native country, Brazil, all you need to say is her first name, Tarsila.
For Brazilians, her recognition is kind of off the charts. She is the Picasso of Brazil.
But in the United States, artist Tarsila do Amaral is virtually unknown. James Rondeau is the director of the Art Institute of Chicago, recent home to an exhibit of Tarsila's work. The exhibit is now open at the Museum of Modern Art in New York.
Why hasn't there been an exhibition devoted to her until now?
It's a difficult question to answer in some ways, right? We're facing issues of geography. We're facing issues of gender. So I think this exhibition aims to be a corrective, both in terms of recognition for Tarsila's work, but also in terms of how we understand the story of modernism.
Tarsila is considered the mother of modern art in Brazil. Born in 1886 in Sao Paulo on a coffee plantation, her family's wealth allowed her to travel and pursue higher education, which was unconventional for women at the time. In her 30s, she moved to Paris, a single woman determined to become a modern artist.
She was in Paris and absorbing, kind of current avant-garde trends, Picasso, Brancusi, Leger, others. She experimented with Cubism, and she kind of said, I understand it, it's not for me.
She called it her military service.
Exactly, it was obligatory, right? And she was aware of a responsibility, an ambition, a desire to somehow represent Brazil, to be a fundamentally Brazilian artist.
It meant painting her homeland's plants and animals with whimsical surrealism and vibrant color. Not just the colors of Brazil's landscape, but of its native people, too.
The colors are absolutely beautiful.
Vibrant, tropical. This is not a European palette, right?
Yeah.
This is a palette that's trying to speak about her native Brazil and a Brazilian sensibility. The leaves are hearts. Do you have a sense of an artist who's actually having fun?
Her work inspired a Brazilian art movement called anthropophagia, or cannibalism. The term encouraged artists to digest other cultures in order to create new, unique art for Brazil.
And they thought, okay, Brazil should be open to everything outside of Brazil. We should assimilate that and transform that into a very specific and unique national culture.
Luis Perez Oramas is a leading Latin American art historian and curator of the exhibit at MoMA.
She accomplished her signature style in the 20s.
A prime example of this is Tarsila's painting Aba Peru, one of her most celebrated works.
The female bather. Tarsila took that on as a known and established European convention and translated it for her own purposes, for her own vision, but also related to the Brazilian landscape.
That example of the bather helps me understand the cannibalism, taking something that's a trope in Western European art and turning it into something extremely Brazilian.
But after her most prolific period in the 1920s, Tarsila's world changed. She lost her wealth in the Great Depression, and not long after, a military dictatorship took over Brazil. Her work became more somber and political.
She became a committed social painter while maintaining her absolutely refined and masterful style. She did not abandon what she had assimilated from modern art. She transformed that into a new kind of subject matter.
Tarsila do Amaral died in 1973 at age 86. Decades later, she's remembered for sharing the beauty of Brazil through her paintings, for an audience that continues to grow.
Tarsila died almost 50 years ago. She's still very, very present.
Very present, but essentially invisible to North American audiences.
Until now.
Until now.